Hey guys, Off the Mic Sports Network here. Another edition of Off the Top Rope. One of the big things that happened on the summer blockbuster AEW show, the Dynamite portion, ended with the contract signing between Kazuchika Okada and Kenny Omega for their title match, which is going to be a unification match at All In. Combined, they're going to just meld the international and continental championships together, and they're going to call it the Unified Championship. Gee, that's an original name. It's a beautiful looking title, but holy shit, man, this segment. Listen, in spots was great. Some of it was just some of the points of it were just questionable. The closing stretch of this was just awesome. It was a great compelling angle. Okada attacking Kenny Omega's midsection. They obviously used the blood capsule really well to Kenny to sell his diverticulitis. So that was a great angle to close this thing out. They had an incredible video package, which is one thing I knock on AEW is like they don't lean too much into educating their audience, especially for the casuals, of how important matches are. So having a huge, well-produced video package was really beneficial. It made this thing feel big. It made it feel like a massive deal, which we already knew it was. So they show the video package. We get the contract signing, and then all of a sudden Don Callis comes out. I'm like, you guys just showed the importance of this match between these two guys. Why does Don Callis need to be involved in this? I get he's got history with Kenny Omega, but really, like, Don Callis in the diverticulitis portion of this, it just felt forced. Like, I get it. Don and Kenny have been attached at the hip really for most of AEW's existence. Like, they've got a huge history since Don turned on him and really started forming the Don Callis family. Led to matches with Ospreay. It led to matches with Takeshita. Like, it's been littered through AEW's history, but it just, like, Okada didn't really need, he's got this edge, and this was the most edge that we've really seen out of Okada in a while. But after you showed the importance of that video package in terms of what these two men have done together in the last 4 times that they faced, it's going to be the round number 5 for them. Why go to having Don Callis be the part of this build? Like, you could have still had them come to blows, and yes, it gets more heat on Okada. It's just like Don Callis, like, listen, and I've met Don before, great-minded professional wrestling. I just think from a character perspective, the Don Callis family is really played out. It doesn't really do anything for me. It's just, I give him credit, but like I said, this segment was kind of all over the place. It was great in spots. There was the reveal of the title belt, which was really interesting. Like, they call it the Unified Championship. It looks beautiful, but Unified Championship, you couldn't come up with a better name. The video package that was produced before it was great. They make this thing feel like one of the biggest deals in the world. You can make the argument that it could main event All In. But then Don Callis comes out, and I'm like, guys, haven't we played this thing out so many freaking times before? It just feels redundant. Why introduce Don into this Okada Omega feud when we already know how big of a deal this is? You went through so much trouble to educate us about what this match means, and then you just go with the shock. Like I said, I see what they were trying to do. It's just, you go from point A, point B, point C. And then one of my biggest critiques of this, and this is a huge problem that I have with, AEW in general, they move on from things way too quickly. Way too quickly. This was at the end of the first block, and it bleeds into Collision, and we immediately get Adam Cole's entrance. We don't even see Kenny get stretched out. We don't even see Kenny getting put into the ambulance. We don't even see him get taken off to the hospital. We get an update later in the show, but they moved off of this so quickly. And I'm like, guys, this is one of your top matches at this show. You had a massive angle where you have a shock turn. Well, not really shock turn. Okada's been a heel, but you have a big time attack. I guess you could say it's a swerve. I don't know, but you just, like I said, the segment there was great moments, and then there was some really questionable moments in this where you're like, okay, why is Don Callis there? The blood capsule, like, that was really done effectively. The attack looked really, really, really violent. and really got some heat on this. The video package was incredible. The title looks great, but it's also a ridiculous name. It's really the most simplistic thing in the world. And then to cap it all off, you just let's go on to the next segment. This is what they do with their pay-per-views. They don't let things breathe. That's such a big moment. You should at least give your audience some level of, like, okay, let's stay with this. Like, and one thing WWE does a really good job of is, like, when they have these attacks, like, they really hang in on it to kind of like capture the scene and tell the story. That's what I think this kind of needed. Like I said, if you're gonna dedicate, like, a certain amount of time to a match early on in the show, I feel like this could have benefited from having an extra 2 to 3 minutes, maybe even closer to 5, of just hanging with Kenny Omega as he gets on the stretcher and he gets wheeled into the ambulance and gets taken out. Like, when they attacked him, last year, they stuck with him in the ambulance. Like, it's little things like this that just bother me, that could make things so much more effective. And it comes down to, like, production, and it comes down to just, like, being more invested in the little details. Um, because there was points in this where I was really entertained. They made this match feel like a big deal. The Don Callis thing kind of hit and miss with me, because I'm just like, I'm kind of over the Don Callis Kenny Omega stuff. And I don't know why Okada really needs Don Callis to be affiliated with going into this match in the first place. It's already big enough as it is. Like, why introduce, like, a heel figure, like, other than the fact that he's got history with Kenny Omega? It's just like, it feels that felt really forced. But yeah, like I said, the attack was really good. So, like I said, it was in and out and in and out. It's like, it was really just, I guess you could say maybe it's like kind of like a schizophrenic segment where you're just like, you're thinking to yourself, man, that's really good. Oh, that's terrible. Man, that's really good. Oh, that's not great. And then just to punt on it at the end, I'm like, come on, guys, what the fuck are we doing? This is Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, and Kenny Omega, who literally almost died. You just basically kayfabe attacked him, had him coughing up his own blood, even though it was fake. It looked great on television. Why move off of that so quickly and go immediately, hey, we've got to get Adam Cole on commentary for the next match on Collision? You guys could wait. You guys could wait. And then this feeds into something else that I talked about earlier. Like I said, I love the Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay match. You could have taken 15 minutes off of that, and you could have had more time to let some stuff breathe. It's like, you don't have to hit people over the head with wall-to-wall wrestling. Like, sell these angles, make them matter, like, make them do things. Like, they just move off of things so fucking quickly that I understand that they gave an update later on in the show, but it's like, it was very all over the place. All in all, they made the match feel like a big deal. So I'm excited to see what they do at all, and excited to see what they do over the next handful of weeks to sell this match even more. It's already one of the biggest matches AEW's ever done. They listen. It's felt kind of forced. Like, there's stuff in here that just was. Everybody, look, they're going to deliver. I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to deliver. They've been waiting for this to do this match for over a year. They've been waiting to do this ever since Okada got there. So we'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun. But kind of a little bit all over the place. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.